But you saw the video coming in from the scene, a very tense situation right now. State police on the scene there trying to keep things calm as they begin this investigation into this now deadly shooting, as Garrett puts it. I want to bring in now former acting ICE director Jonathan Fahey, who's joining us on the phone. Jonathan, thanks for coming on this breaking news. We saw there together a very, very volatile situation. People are very angry right now, these demonstrators and protesters. You've got ICE on the scene, state police, a lot is going on. Walk me through how this investigation begins, because there are a lot of working pieces here. And what we're learning so far is that this person that's been shot was armed, had a gun. We don't know if it was loaded or not, but he had a gun.
Well, I think the first thing they're going to do with basically any investigation, one, you secure the crime scene, collect any evidence that's there, talk to witnesses, get video, and things of that nature. So probably standard stuff. It's going to be a federal investigation, again, because the federal agents are involved in the state. You know, in this case, there's really no cooperation with the state because of Tim Walz and the mayor. It's almost impossible. So it's going to be an exclusively federal investigation to get to the bottom of it. What's most concerning about this is we're only basically a week after the Renee Good shooting, and the officials in Minnesota seem like they've done nothing other than to try to ratchet up the situation. And that I just heard that clip you played from Tim Walz saying his solution to this is for the federal government to get out of Minnesota and basically abandon immigration enforcement, which is what they've wanted all along. And it's just shocking to me that he and Jacob Fry have not taken any responsibility, because they have their political issues on one hand, but their primary responsibility is to keep the citizens of Minneapolis on Jacob Fry's part and Tim Walz on the whole state of Minnesota safe. And they seem to have abandoned that responsibility in the name of politics.
Jonathan, we're getting an update now from the AP that is reporting that this is a 51-year-old man who was shot by federal immigration officers, and he has indeed died at the hospital. That's according to the hospital. The AP is reporting right now. Deadly force in any situation, whether it involves ICE or any other federal authorities, state police, any kind of law enforcement agency, is always the last resort, right?
Exactly. And, I was a federal prosecutor for 17 years, and I've dealt with these situations on both ends. And what anyone that knows working with law enforcement, the last things they ever want to do is have to even draw their weapon, let alone use it. So it's always a last resort, but when they're put in situations where their lives are in danger, or they're in danger of serious bodily injury, or importantly, which I think applies to the Renee Good case, I don't know about this case yet, but they have a responsibility for not only defending their own lives but the lives of others that are around them. So they have sort of more than just protect themselves; they have to protect the public. So but I do. Your point is that the last thing they want to do is use deadly force. No one wants to see anyone die, but it does seem like in this case this person had a firearm. It'll be interesting how this unfolds, but my guess is, at least initially, my inclination is probably the officers were justified if the person was armed.
In the Renee Good shooting, we had so many different angles of that shooting that came in pretty fast on social media. And the question I'm wondering here is, are ICE agents on the ground in Minneapolis wearing body cameras? Do you think there will be footage that comes out of this? I'm not sure exactly if these protesters and demonstrators were there on the ground wherever these ICE activities were going on. We don't know what led up to this shooting. We just see them now. They're on the ground in the area now. We don't know if they were there before. But were ICE agents, you think, wearing body cameras?
That I don't know.
Okay.
Whether or not they were, but my guess will be there will be video footage of this, just because in this day and age, particularly in situations involving ICE and involving protests, seems like everyone is out there filming it. So hopefully there will be video, because a lot of times, whatever the initial reaction to any of these situations, a lot of times once more information comes out, which at least in my view with the Renee Good situation, it really gave a fuller picture, which is more helpful not only for law enforcement but for the public at large.
And this has been a powder keg situation, since that Renee Good shooting. I would say even before she was shot. we've been watching these protests go on, but we've been watching the tension increase really all over the country. I don't know if you heard about this, but Fox obtained this anonymous letter that was recently sent to the California GOP, and it was calling for war on ICE and agents to be sent home in a, quote, body bag. I mean, it was saying basically that ICE agents and their backers have to be targets, that they have to be, quote, IED'd, run over with vehicles, shot at by snipers, sprayed with toxic chemicals. It was a really horrific letter that was sent by somebody out there that is very angry at this immigration crackdown. I mean, is this kind of rhetoric and what we're hearing from others contributing to what we're seeing now, which is, I mean, really a tinderbox